Hey guys, what's up? So I bought a HP Omen 25L here about a year ago or so. You can see it's right here. And this is going to be a little bit of a review on what it is. So, unfortunately, it is not too good. Now, I have a dual monitor setup with the Samsung 4K monitor and the Asus Tough Gaming 4K monitor. Now, I will say that does have RGB. I currently have it turned off at the moment. This system came with a 3060 Ti and a Ryzen 7 5700G. Came with 1 terabyte hard drive, 16 gigs of HyperX RAM, and a 500 power supply and a 500 gigabyte NVMe. Now, here's a couple of the issues that I've had a lot so far. Now, it has one hard drive cage, right? Which, understandable. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of in there. So we'll talk about my experience. This PC was $1,600. And I've had a lot of issues with it. You can see I have a hub there. There's a reason for that. Now, I got this computer. It took like 3 or 4 days to come in. I don't know if you can hear that fallout alarm, but the fallout alarm's going off in the city. Now, I've got a few problems. I ordered another 16 gig kit because I have 4 slots right there, as you can see. When I put the other 2 in to make it 4 channel, I could not get them. Well, actually, let's back up. First off, I picked this computer up. I got it at the store. I bought it. It was ready within a couple days. I took it home, plugged it in. It started. It was on for about 20 minutes, and it shut off. Would not power back on at all. So, wouldn't power on. Had those issues. Tried to diagnose it a little bit. Couldn't figure out what was happening. There's a red light on the circuit board or the motherboard. Couldn't find what it is because I couldn't find what BIOS this was, because I can't get, like when I hit the power button, it just clicked. It was like click, 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 and that was it, with a little flashing light. I took it back to the actual place. So Geek Squad said that they could look at it, but they are busy, and I wasn't allowed, like I wasn't able to use my warranty for 2 weeks. And they told me to drop it off in 2 weeks at so-and-so time, whatever. So I had no computer that I paid $1,600 for. And then I went back, had Best Buy and Geek Squad look at it. They held on to it for 2 weeks. Called me the day before I was supposed to pick it back up, or what their technician said, since they were so busy. And they called me back and said, your warranty expired now because we didn't look at it and we held it for a month without giving it to you. And they're like, oh, you have to pay for this if you want us to look at it. So that was bullshit. So had a warranty, they wouldn't accept, they wouldn't do a refund, they wouldn't do anything like that. So don't buy at Best Buy. Don't use Geek Squad. Completely trash. The HP Omen and all that, I got it back. They didn't do anything to it. Still did not boot. So I had a broken computer. So what I ended up doing was took the entire thing apart, because when I was looking at it, the only BIOS I could see that matched the amount of flashes it was doing was some other BIOS, and it said CPU issue. So it's like, okay, whatever. I took the computer apart, every single piece. And I'll tell you what I did. After I got everything unassembled, I put it all back. I reset the CMOS battery and all of that stuff. So I reset the battery and all that. Tried to put it back together. I noticed that it looked like there was no thermal paste at all on the CPU. I don't think that was the issue of why it wasn't starting. I think it was a BIOS issue or something, because I believe the thing that fixed it was resetting the battery, which I had to remove the graphics card and everything to get to. And I put it back together and everything. So I was putting all that stuff in. After I got it all put in, I started it up. And it's worked ever since. So I think it might have been something like that. At least that's what it would have been. Or that would have been where the problem stopped. Except, you can remember, it's got that one hard drive cage, right? Let me tell you about the product details of this system. 3060 Ti, 1 terabyte hard drive, 500 gigabyte NVMe, 3 NVMe M.2 slots on the motherboard, according to HP, 4 SATA connectors on the motherboard, according to HP. And remember that last one for just a minute. So when I was looking at everything, okay, I was like, all right, I'm going to upgrade it. They said it was upgradable and all that stuff. They're like, oh yeah, it just uses parts off the shelf. It's a lie. They don't. They are using HP parts. So the HyperX. I bought another kit of 16 HyperX. I placed it in the other 2 slots. Would not read anything at all. So what I did, I bought another kit of 16 gigabyte RAM that wasn't HyperX. Put that in the slot. Can't get it to read. So nothing is working as far as that. I just can't upgrade the RAM. It's got 4 slots, but only 2 work, apparently. I haven't switched those out to see if I can use other RAM or if they locked the RAM for some reason. But it's HP. Wouldn't be surprised. They underclocked the CPU and stuff. I don't have access in their BIOS to change any of that. I will tell them I will give them a little bit of props as far as the RAM they put in. They did change the BIOS settings for it to be its full 3200 and all that stuff with XMP and all that. So they did do that. Okay, but they took away all the other settings. Now, I can't upgrade the RAM. They said I could. I can't upgrade it. Don't know why. When I was looking at the motherboard, I have only found 2 NVMe slots. The one that is currently being used, that's above the graphics card, and there's one underneath the graphics card. I cannot find the 3rd NVMe slot for M.2 that it says it has on the motherboard. I could be overlooking something. It could be covered by something. I haven't been able to find it. But honestly, after the RAM I bought didn't work, and after the hard drive I bought wouldn't actually work, I'll get to that in a minute, I really don't want to go spend $140 on a 2 terabyte NVMe that I'm not sure is going to work at this point with HP. So let's get to the hard drive slot. The hard drive slot is right here, and it's got a power cable and a SATA cable and all that stuff. Remember, when I looked at the manual for this, it says it has 4 SATA connectors. All right, it does have the extra power cables up here with this one. I was like, okay, cool. I need to upgrade. I have 1 terabyte. It's full. I bought a 4 terabyte hard drive. All right, I also bought a SATA cable. I didn't look at the PC case beforehand because it said it had 4. Follow the cable to get to the SATA connectors. Found them, bottom of the motherboard. Don't know if you can see right there. See that cable right there? That is the hard drive SATA connector. See the 3 empty slots next to it? Those are the other 3 SATA connector slots. However, if you notice something, they're just silver. It's like they haven't been soldered, like the little connector you plug the SATA cable into, has not been soldered to the board. So why would they put it on the product page that it has 4 SATA connectors if it only has 1? It has 4 slots, but it only has 1 connector because the other 3 aren't actually hooked to the board for me to plug a SATA cable into. If you all know a fix for this issue where I don't have to solder a connector to it and all that stuff, let me know, because I haven't messed with I don't mess with motherboards, so I don't break them. But it said it had 4, and it has 1. And I know it's like, okay, well, it has 1 cage. Yes, but it said 4 connectors. And you use SATA for other things. And the 1 cage wouldn't matter. You see, down at the bottom, I have the original hard drive sitting there. So, on the bottom of the case. Now, I did switch out the 4 terabyte and the 1 terabyte. So I have a 4 terabyte in the system. The 1 terabyte is on the ground. It's not doing anything. I took it out yesterday and I had to order some stuff. So what I ordered was, it's supposed to come in today. It is going to be it's not a Seagate. It's something that's like similar to it though. Let me see if I can bring it up on my computer. But basically what it is a docking station. And the docking station it's a Sabrent USB 3.0 hard drive dock. So you put a hard drive, external or anything, inside the dock, and you plug it to a USB 3.0 slot. Hopefully I don't have an issue with that. And once you plug it into the USB 3.0 slot, it should be fine. Now, I'm hoping so, because I need to get that data off of that 1 terabyte and put it on the 4 terabyte. And then I guess I'll leave it in the docking station and download games or something to it. I don't know. That was annoying. If I knew that, I wouldn't have got it. You know, I looked at the upgradability of this PC when I paid for it. And they lied because I did not check after I had bought it to make sure that their paperwork was correct, which it was not. Now, that is a lot of shit. Let's get with why I have a USB port there. Now, that works fine. I turned it off because it's bright as hell. Also, HP's fucking RGB sucks. I have it on signal right now. I turned that off so I can sleep. So here's the front panel. It's got a mic headset, the 2 USBs right here and the power button. And then on the back, I don't know, you probably can't see that. It's got a bunch of USB ports. All right. The reason I have this hub right here is because this is a USB 3.0 hub, I believe. There are, I think it's like 2 3.0 slots and then 4 regular USB 2.0 slots in the back. There's 2 C cables in the back. All right. Now, in the back, there is all these USBs. So let's say, when you go over here, those USBs right there, I can't put a USB drive in them. It's crazy. The hole isn't big enough. So the left one does not work and the right one is tight. I can put a USB in it, but it scratches the hell out of it and you have to force the USB in for it to fit. It's like it's not lined up with the case hole or whatever for some reason. So it scratches the metal every time you try to put it in. Now in the back, the two USB-C ports, amazing. That's what this is. Awesome. They work fine. The USB ports, the 4 2.0s, don't work at all. They just don't work. I don't know why. They just don't work. They're connected and everything. They just never worked out of the box. Another thing that doesn't work with this PC. The other two ports, though, do work. Okay, so this is C. And then I believe I think it's something simple. I think it's like the mouse is plugged into the computer 3.0. And then I think the keyboard is plugged in. No, that's USB-C. That's USB-C. That's USB 3. And I believe it's the Yeti that's USB 3. And then that's like my Razer headset and camera and all that stuff. So that's what I have. The 4 USB ports in the back don't work. One up here doesn't work. One is tight and doesn't fit. That said 4 SATA connectors, but there's only one. I don't know about the M.2 slots. That doesn't really matter too much. And I haven't been able to upgrade the RAM. If there is something I am missing, I have upgraded RAM on many computers in the past. I have never had an issue of it just not showing up whatsoever. So if you know what that problem is, let me know. Tried 2 different brands, including one that is the exact same kit as that. So those are my problems that I've had thus far. So far, I do not like this computer at all. But I had it running, and let me show you here the actual performance. Alright guys, so I ran the Cinebench R23 little, I guess what, benchmark thing or whatever. And you can see in the orange over here, let me click on it so you can see my mouse. This is my system, and this is a, identical system. So my score with the single was 1424, and it's usually about 1462 in an identical system. And if I switch it over to multi-core, you can see it's 12,444. The identical is 12,772. Now, over here, it is a 8.73 or 8.74. The identical is 8.73 as far as the MP ratio. So that is our stats as far as Cinebench. So now we're going to go ahead and take a look at 3D Mark. Alright, so I ran the 3D Mark TimeSpy Extreme 4K little benchmark thing on the HP Omen 25L. So over here we have the TimeSpy Extreme score, which is 4,712. So our score is 4712. The average is 5450. It's over under average. The best is 6009. Our graphics score is 4773. CPU score is 4398. And then over here you can see our monitoring on the little stuff. Keep in mind this was recording in OBS at the same time. Over here you can see NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. The AMD Ryzen 7 5700G with Radeon graphics. Display settings right there. And then we got our little graphics test, graphics score, CPU score. And then we got this stuff right here. Okay, so it looks like it kind of goes all over the place. But that is our 3D Mark kind of benchmark stuff right there. Alright guys, so overall with all of the issues I have had with the HP Omen 25L gaming PC, I cannot recommend it. I have had nothing but problems when it comes to this thing, whether it be the hard drive, the RAM, the fact that it didn't work for the first month after buying it, the issues with them not accessing the actual warranties, and along with something I haven't mentioned up to this point, which is HP customer support. So I went on HP's website. I've called the HP customer support number, and it's an automated system that says, like, did you turn it off and on? Is the power plugged in? And if not, then go talk to a virtual chat. Then you go to the virtual chat on the website, and it asks you the same 3 questions again. Hey, was it this super simple thing? Did you do it? And if you say yes or no, it's just like, oh, well, you should probably figure it out. Or you could pay a subscription for like $15 a month, and you can actually talk to a real person 24/7. And that is the problem. So why do I have to pay to get my warranty used at Best Buy? Why do I have to pay HP for them to answer any questions of, is this supposed to be like this, or is the product page from the site I bought it wrong? And different things like that. So maybe they updated it since then. I'm not sure. I have seen other people with negative reviews on the site saying the same stuff I have. So it's obviously not just a one-time thing. But I have also seen reviews of people and unboxing from people who have opened up this system, and it has the 4 slots it's supposed to have. It has upgradable stuff. So I'm not sure if they just kind of didn't finish this and then they put it out anyway, or what's happening with that. Because how can someone have 2 people have the same unit or the same pre-built, and then it be completely different as far as customization? So there's a few issues like that, but overall it's just awful. If you can, obviously just build your own. I actually bought this right when prices were about to start chilling down, where GPUs were still actually pretty high. So this was my cheapest way to get a 3060, because a 3060 at that time cost not the same as this, but pretty close to how much I ended up paying for this unit. So that's kind of why I had to go with this. But if you do have to buy pre-built, don't go with HP. I would suggest any other company at this point. Linus Tech Tips actually recently posted his Secret Santa thing or whatever, where he did a monk reference, which amazing, because as soon as I saw the thumbnail, I was like, did he reference monk? And then he confirmed it in the WAN show. So I was like, oh, awesome. That was really good. Any of those companies that he worked with, that, especially, there's one of them that had the super, like, it just obviously was going to beat out everybody else. I would use one of those companies. Plus, most of those companies had customer service that was pretty good. So I would just stay away from Hewlett and Packard. I believe it's what HP stands for. And especially the HP Omen is supposed to be for gaming. But as you can see, it can game. It's just, you're losing a lot of upgradability and performance by doing them specifically when you could have just gone anywhere else. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the subscribe button down below. And I will see you all next time. If you have any recommendations on what I can do to actually make the system better, my only thing I'm thinking right now is just get rid of the HP motherboard and go from there. But honestly, I might just go from scratch and just do my own build at this point. Because prices have gone down enough, I might just go ahead and do that. But I will see y'all later. Don't forget to game like a god. Peace out.